So this movie, though, we get some new characters and some new sets. So I'm going to talk about some of the main ones. And the first is Dobby. At the beginning of the movie, we're introduced to Dobby, a mysterious house elf who believes Harry should not return to Hogwarts this year.
I'm just going to say, I forgot Dobby was so self-destructive.
Oh,
Like, the constant, like, head banging and, like, finding things to bang on his head and just, like,
it's
just
problematic.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Noisy.
I'm much more worried about him now that I watch it back than when I was a kid. But now I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, like therapy for everyone in the wizarding world,
Yes.
but Dobby especially really needs some help. Like just destructive and odd looking. I'm not sure that those graphics hold up. Opinions?
Yeah, so I actually saw, and this is probably not like a hot take at all. This is probably like people know this, but I saw where there was like this whole scandal where Vladimir Putin thought that Dobby was designed to look like Vladimir Putin. And there was
I've
like
never heard
lawsuits
this.
and everything.
I think he tried to sue because he looked so similar. And I
It
don't
is an
think
eerie
anyone.
But
But did you
is.
think of that before Putin brought
No.
it up? Because I
No.
didn't. Yeah, I think
No.
he made it worse. I did not notice.
Yeah, he made it worse. I've never once
Yes.
thought that in my entire life. And I am a crazy Harry Potter fan. So like you would think that's something that I would have seen before.
I
I
just thought
see
that
it.
was too silly not to say. Like, it has to be
Oh.
said.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I've never like thought so much about the CGI of Dobby before this movie because I've always just like
Mm.
accepted that that's what Dobby looks like. But I was looking at him a little bit. I think it's like for 2002 though, like it's pretty good. Like going from like Quidditch, like in the first movie where the Quidditch literally looks like it's a
Like
video
zooming.
game to like
Yeah.
Dobby being able to like walk around in the house and like me believe it. Like I think we've made strides, honestly.
Sure. I
Yeah.
always am going to compare it to something like Jurassic Park, which was in the 90s, right? So this is what we're
Mhm.
up against. And I think it's a difference of CGI versus, real props or animatronics or whatever that is. So I'm always pro, let's try to make it realistic. Let's not do CGI, the whole Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer real effects. I'm pro that. And
Mhm.
I think Dobby probably would have been a little better off if we had made him a little more realistic looking.
He
Yeah,
could have been a puppet too. They might not have had to CGI the
Yeah.
whole thing. Like maybe just his
Yeah.
face and the facial expressions.
yeah, one of the things that I saw was saying that like because they fully CGI'd him, it was very new in the industry to do that kind of thing. And so they actually had problems, right? Because Dan is a young and experienced actor and like they as a production crew are inexperienced at like dealing with a fully CGI'd character. And so like figuring out how to have Dan interact so much with this like creature that wasn't even there was I think a big challenge when they were making this movie. Because like now that's a skill actors have, right? Because there's so much
Sure.
CGI, but like back then, like that was like a new thing.
Yeah, wasn't it a tennis ball on a stick?
I think it was
That
an orange.
yeah, poor Daniel Radcliffe had to take seriously in the moment. Yeah, he's just like bouncing along. And then the orange is hitting itself and like spurts in his eye. So I think that would be really hard too for a child actor.
Yeah.
For an adult actor, anybody.
I can't imagine like keeping my cool on a set where I'm supposed to interact with this like stick. Like it's a person kind of like, I don't know. It's funny.
It probably set them up for success later when they have like a hippogriff, right? That's just a giant tennis ball on a stick. I don't know, but it just continues. So maybe this was their gateway into acting with CGI.
There we go.
Yeah.